What is up, guys? MPK all the way. Today I'm going to talk about a great nutrient line. It's not so well known yet in the hobby market, but it's a very well known product in the agriculture market already. Farmers tend to use these products due to its incredible results, of course, and the cheap cost in comparison to the other nutrients on the market. The product I'm going to talk about today is Metrop, which you can see here. This is the line they have. So Metrop is a Netherlands-based company, a Dutch company. It's run by a man that's called Rob. Rob is he invented the name in a very weird way, actually, because when he was picking up the phone, he would always say Metrop, which means with Rob. Hello, with Rob. And that's how he came up with the name. So I've sat down with this person, this Rob guy, the owner, and he is one of the most knowledgeable people that I've talked with about nutrients and about his product. Look at him at the same way that I look at Christian from Koenigsegg from when he talks about cars. He knows everything about it. He knows everything about his nutrient line, which is super fascinating. The nutrients of Metrop, they are very concentrated bottles. Therefore, it's not really aimed towards small growers, small hobby growers. It's more aimed towards the bigger ones, because one small drop of a nutrient of one of these bottles will have the same result of, like, let's say 5 or 10 milliliters of another nutrient. So that's why in their nutrient schedules they don't even talk about milliliters per liter. They actually talk about how much to use for every 100 liters you use. So since they're so concentrated, they're also very, very heavy. Let me give you an example of that. For example, let's take a measure scale here. Let's see if I can show you that. Let me give you a view, like lower. Oh, there we go. So if we put the scale on, there we go. Why is it not going? There we go. Wait, let me put it on 0. So for example, let's take this one bottle here. I have a bottle of RHIZO. It's unopened, so just to show you, this is unopened. Oh, there we go. What the hell? So it's 1 liter bottle. If I put it on there, you can see that it's around a kilo, around a kilo, which is normal for a bottle of 1 liter. But let's say that we take a bottle of Metrop, which is also 1 liter, which you can see here. The same bottle weighs 1.7 kilos. So to put that in perspective, that's 3.1 pound compared to what a normal bottle should weigh, which is 2.6 pounds. So you can see that there's a big difference in weight. So that's just to show you how concentrated these are. So let's get back to the bottles. There we go. So with the Metrop Nutrients, the fertilizers and stuff, you can achieve pretty impossible results if you handle them correctly. However, if you overdose with these bottles, you can basically say goodbye to your product. The nutrients are suited for every type of grow. You can use them in soil, you can use them in coco, you can use them in rockwool, even in hydro. So there's one nutrient line for every growing media, not like all the others out there. So let's start. So first off, let's start with the base nutrients. So we have 2 base nutrients, which you can see here are the Metrop 1 and the Metrop 2. Let me put these to the side for a second. One sec, give me a second. So there you go. So just to give you a better view, so this is the first nutrient we're going to talk about. It's the Metrop MR1 Grow. This is a base nutrient, so it has an NPK ratio, which you can see here, of 10, 40, 20. That's insanely high. So right off the bat, you can see that they do things differently than other brands on the market. They use an NPK ratio with an insane amount of phosphorus, which you can see here, with 40 being the phosphorus and being the nitrogen is 10 and 20 being the potassium. So the reason for this is that because at a young stage, the plant mainly needs to focus on developing a root and healthy root growth. So to get that, they need large amounts of phosphorus, and that's why they put this much in the bottle. You know, because more roots means more uptake of nutrients, which means a bigger result in a bigger plant, which means higher yields. So the analysis of this product, which you can see here, there is like a 10% nitrogen, which is derived from nitrate, 4.6% of nitrogen, 5.4% of ammonium nitrogen. Then we have 40% of phosphorus, 20% of potassium, 1.5% of magnesium. There's some iron in there, some manganese, some copper, some zinc, and some boron. I will link them all below in the description so you can read them afterwards. But there's also some traces I can see of cobalt and molybdenum. So because Metrop MR1, because this nutrient, or this base nutrient, has been made from very pure and high quality raw materials, they achieve this amount of high ratios, these NPK ratios that are that high. And that's without creating problems, because usually if you have these amounts of NPK ratios, you create problems within the nutrient itself. But because of this high quality, it will never coagulate. It will never coagulate your irrigation system, or it will mess up your mixing top. So the use of this product, let me see, is advised. Here you can see it's advised from the 2nd day of grow until the 3rd or 4th week of flower. So basically until the size of your fruits is like the thickness of your pinky finger. That's the way you can judge that it's done needing this bottle. Then you need to change over to Metrop MR2, which is the flower solution. So let's get to that. So Metrop 2 basically is your flower base. So you use this for the flowering. It also has a very high NPK ratio, which you can see here at 10, 20, 40. You can see that they halved the amount of phosphorus and they doubled the amount of potassium. The reason for that is, of course, that in flowering, the plant needs more potassium, because the more potassium that's available, the fatter the fruit or the yield will be. So when there's twice the amount of potassium, compared to phosphorus, you know you will get big volume increase in the end, because there is still a lot of phosphorus present. The roots will, of course, continue to develop because there's still 20 of it in it. So the roots will still keep developing. Other than that, they also changed the formula of the nitrogen. It's still 10, but they increased the amount of nitrate nitrogen and reduced the amount of ammonium nitrogen. And the reason for that is that in early grow, there needs to be more ammonium nitrogen, because that helps the plant uptake more phosphorus than normal, and therefore it will create a better root growth. But for that reason, in late flower, we don't want the plant to focus that much anymore on root development. We want the plant to focus more on staying healthy instead of focusing on the growth, and that's why they increase the amount of ammonium nitrogen and upped the amount of nitrogen. So I had to say decrease the amount of ammonium and increase the amount of nitrogen. Other than that, the elements in the bottle are basically the same. Let me see where the English is. There we go. So you can see there, right there, that it has the 10% nitrogen, which is mainly purely nitrogen from nitrate. So 9.33% is, and the rest is ammonia. Then we have the 20% phosphorus, 40% potassium, and the rest basically stays the same as the first bottle. Again, because these nutrients are made of the purest and form of the raw materials, you won't have any problems running this through your system. The use of this product is advised, let's see, again from, of course, after you stop with MR1, from the 3rd or the 4th week of bloom, when the fruits are the size of your pinky finger. That's when you start over with this until the final week, just before you start the week of flushing, which is debatable because some people like the flush and some people don't. So basically, these two nutrients are your base nutrients. They, if you use these two bottles, you will be able to grow nice crops. Of course, that is if you use some CalMag solution. Doesn't need to be from Metrop, but they also have it available. But if you basically have these two bottles, you can have a nice grow. However, of course, if you want to have better results and try to get the most out of your crop, out of your plant, you need to try some Metrop stimulators, which are of course the AMINOXTREME, the Root Plus, and the RHIZO Boost. So these are your three stimulators. So let's put these base nutrients to the side. So these are your three stimulants. So you have two main boosters, which are the Root Plus and the AMINOXTREME. But recently they also developed a product called RHIZO Boost, where basically Root Plus is your enzymes, basically. The AMINOXTREME is your amino acids, and where RHIZO Boost is your hormones for the plant. But they're more than that, but I will get into that a little deeper now. So let me put these to the side. Let's start with Root Plus, for example. So with Root Plus, you have a root stimulator for your plant. It's made out of 3 enzyme groups. I will spare you the names because I don't know how to pronounce them. But what they do is they basically increase the ion transfer in the root zone, and therefore they also increase the moving of minerals to organic building blocks. This basically means that it promotes uptake of minerals such as, for example, zinc, calcium, magnesium, and iron. And the enzymes are basically needed for all functions of the plant needs. So with Root Plus, you will get a better growth, more resistant plants, and it will stimulate the production of root hairs, which you can also see on the bottle. It will, of course, it's a root stimulant, so it will increase your root production. It will increase the root hairs. It will also make them more resistant to stress and diseases. And it will also produce, like in a natural way, some hormones and some enzymes. The Root Plus has an NPK of, I think it was 3. Yep, it has 3% nitrogen in there, which you can see here. I'm sorry, the bottles are labeled, but it's pretty unreadable. It's not because of the camera, because the camera is a good quality, but these labels are a little bit hard to read. But it has an NPK of 300, which the 3% is derived from 2.6% of nitrogen and 0.4% of ammonium nitrogen. And it's used, the intended use for this is from the first day of growth until week 3. Until week 3 of growth, you can use this. So that's your root stimulant, Metrop Root Plus. Next up, we have AMINOXTREME. AMINOXTREME is your amino acids. The special thing about this bottle is the way that they were able to produce it. However, all nutrients on the market are usually made through fermentation, a fermentation process, or maybe a hydrolysis process. But this one has been made with biosynthesis. That much might not mean a lot to you guys, but biosynthesis is a scientific way of making these products, making the raw materials. And there's only a handful of companies in the world that are able to do that. Metrop doesn't do it themselves. They have a factory that they use to produce that. And the reason why that's so special is, again, because they said there's only a few companies that are able to make them. And we're going to be pretty nerdy about this. What biosynthesis means is they were able to achieve the helix of the amino, so like the DNA helix, that's only 700 Daltons long. Daltons is a scientific term for the weight of a molecule. In contrast to any other product, organic product out there, that's usually 10,000 Daltons long. So this one is only 700 Daltons long. So while all the other products, like most of the other products on the market, are 10,000 Daltons long. So what that means is that A plant cell is able to uptake around a helix, a DNA helix of the size of no more than 1500 Daltons. So to get to the point, what that means is that this product is developed to change the molecular structure of the plant itself. So the actual DNA of the plant itself. It seems, of course, unbelievable, and it seems like a marketing talk stunt. But I looked it up, and they actually indeed made this through biosynthesis, which is amazing. Which is, well, I don't know any other product that does that, but what it does is, because it has such a small helix, such a way of changing the plant's structure itself. That means that when you put that in, it will make the nutrients that are available in your media, in your water, in your soil, in your cocoa, whatever, it makes them available immediately. Where other, for example, where other products with 10,000 Daltons or more, they need a couple of days to get into the plant because it can only uptake 1500 Daltons at a time. So with this product, you basically have the ability to reconfigure the plant the way it needs to be configured, and then it uptakes everything immediately, which of course will result in an explosive top formation. So you will have a lot of tops, and it will make bigger resistance to diseases. It will make the bigger resistance to stress, and it of course stimulates the production of your other boosters like the hormones and the enzymes. The NPK of this bottle is, let me check, it's 0.8, 1.20, so not a lot in there. So there's some nitrogen and some phosphorus in there, but other than that, there's mostly the amino acids. The use of this product is intended from the week 3 of bloom, so basically the same week that you start using MR2, that's the moment you start using this one. You can use it until the end, of course, just before flushing. If you don't flush, just use it until the end. It's your own decision, of course. Next up, we have our RHIZO Boost, which are our hormones. They are used again to stimulate, of course, root growth. It contains a high quality plant ingredients, and it uses also some kelp, which will clearly increase the development of the roots and of the plant's cells. So it's also, I think, yeah, it's also an antiseptic for your growing media, so it will keep your growing media nice and sterile. The NPK of this product is 0.3 by 0.3 by 0.4. So there's some nitrogen, some phosphorus, and some potassium, but not a lot. So these are your hormones. You can use this product from the second day of growth until the 3rd week of flower. So at least that's what I think it says. Yeah, the 1st day of growth until the 3rd or 4th week of flower. That's when you use this. So that's your hormones. So last but not least, CALGREEN. CALGREEN is basically your CalMag. It's mainly calcium and magnesium, but we also know that calcium is the 4th most important element for a plant. You have the N, you have the N, the nitrogen, the P, potassium, the phosphorus, sorry, the K, the potassium, and the calcium. So this is your 4th most important element. So it's obviously that your plant needs a lot of this. This contains a healthy dose of nitrogen again to add to the MR1, and these 3 elements make, and it also contains, what did it contain? Sorry guys, let me think about it because I had to learn this by head, but you have calcium, magnesium, and we have nitrogen, of course. Those are the 3 main ingredients that you have that will create a special compound that will result in crucial building blocks for your plant. So basically result in a more compact and a more heavier result in the end, but it's mainly your calcium and your magnesium. This product also protects your plants against fungus, diseases, up to 80%. Of course, you can never be 100% because that also determines your way of growing. You have to be sterile while you grow. So if you have a nasty grow room, you will get pests, you will get problems, but this will help you strengthen up those plants. It will also increase the uptake of your micronutrients such as the copper, the zinc, the boron, you know, stuff like that. And when you use this product, you will of course see a bigger result in the end. In this bottle, it's an NPK, I thought, of 1500. Let me see. Yep. So it's 15% of nitrogen. It has 22.5% of calcium, and it has 3% of magnesium. Wow. So this product can be used from start to finish. So use it wisely. Check their website. They have a dosing schedule which you can use. So it's very important that you use these products as intended. So let me get all the bottles back on the table just to give you everything that we discussed about. So we have the RHIZO Plus, we have the RHIZO Boost, like that. You have the AMINOXTREME, you have the MR1 and the MR2. So this is the full line of Metrop that they use, and that's what I will be using in my next grow. So if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I hope I explained this the best way possible, because I'm very excited to try this out. This nutrient line basically does the same as the Advanced Nutrients Grandmaster line, which I also reviewed, which you can check out on top. I will link a link to my Advanced Nutrients review, sorry. So you can check that out there. But except for the Advanced Nutrients, you need a lot less bottles. With the Advanced Nutrients, I had like what, 15 bottles, I think. Here I have 6 to do the exact same, maybe even a better result, because these are so well dosed. They are so concentrated compared to Advanced Nutrients, which are diluted with water. These ones are pure. That's why they're so heavy. They are very cost effective. I mean, that means you get a lot of buck for your money. So not with Advanced Nutrients, you have to pay top price to get diluted stuff. This one you have to pay a reasonable price, but you get the real stuff. So this company doesn't spend a lot of money on marketing. That's why you probably didn't hear of them. But I'm going to try to change that, because I rather let a company spend the money on making a better product than that they spend it on marketing schemes. So I'm sure they will like it, and I hope that they ever see my video so that they can see that I'm loving their product. I am not loving it yet, but it already blew my mind what they have in these bottles, and it already blew my mind the NPK ratios. So I'm pretty sure it will also blow my mind in the end results. I had also a contact with the owner, and he also gave me a foliar spray solution that I can use during my grow, but I won't share that here. I will share that in my videos, because I want to test it out myself before I put it on here. So if there's anything else, guys, let me know. Set it in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up. It helps my channel a lot, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Peace out, guys.